Ragnar's cousin had driven us from our Norse home many years ago. He had hated him as he hated me. There were others too, Thorfinn the Skull-Splitter and Sihtric Silkbeard, who made no pretence of friendship but coveted what we ruled. They had all settled either in the land of the Angles or on the islands to the north. We, on the island of Man, were too strong for them. My warriors controlled the nearby island which had been the ancient home of the Druids, Anglesey. My warriors there were protected by the Holy Mountain, and it prevented others from using that rich island as a base from which to raid us. But I knew we could not just sit and wait for them to come. If we did that, we would lose. The voice in my head, which had been Ragnar's, told me so. The voice had changed of late. I still saw Ragnar, but it was not his voice. No matter whose voice it was, the words in my head had never let me down, and I would heed them. I descended the mountain happier than I had been for some time. I knew what I had to do. Chapter 1. By the time I had reached my home at Hramsa, I was decided. I had the plan in my head. Of course, as with all things, I would speak with my wife, Erica. It was not to seek her approval. I did not need that. Rather, it was to have her apply her mind to what I had decided. Oft-times, her sage advice had made the plan work better. I believed she might be a Volva, but she denied any such powers. The other world worked in mysterious ways. My daughter Kara was now toddling and was proving a handful for Sierra, who watched over her. As I approached the hall, I heard her squeals as she fled from her nurse, and I heard Sierra's voice as she tried to control my child. Arturus, my son, had grown rapidly over the last year. He spent every waking minute practicing to be a warrior. If Aidan was available, then he sparred with him, and if not, he used his bow and the targets. At other times he would happily wield an axe to strengthen his muscles. He wanted to be an Ulfheonar, and he knew that required a high standard of skill. Aidan was the Irish boy I had adopted. Although he used a sword and shield, he was no warrior. He was a fine worker of metals and had made the wolf charms for my oathsworn. He had become something of a healer for my warriors and could stitch the deep cuts they sometimes suffered. He could also read and had shown himself adept at conjuring cunning plans. I knew that when Erica had refined my thoughts, Aidan would add his own opinion and ideas. I would welcome them. He was as loyal a man as any of my warriors, and I was not arrogant enough to believe that I knew it all. Arturus ran to me when he saw me. I noticed that he was now as tall as my shoulder and was filling out. Another summer or two, and he could begin raiding with me as a warrior rather than an apprentice. "You are back, father. Did you dream the dream?" I smiled. "Not this time, my son, but the sky and the mountain cleared my head and allowed the spirits to talk with me. I cannot always dream, but I can speak with those who have gone before." "Will I be able to do that when I grow older?" I had no doubt that he would, for his mother was fey too, but it did not do to put such ideas in a boy's mind in case it turned out not to be the way he would walk. "It may be. When I was your age, the gift had not come. You will need to grow and see what the All-Father has planned for you." His face showed disappointment tinged with resolve. He would still believe that he could be exactly the same as me. "I will continue to work then, father." "Good. The gods help those that help themselves." Erica was a good organizer, and she had finished the chores which needed completion. She was a master at ensuring that others worked hard. She was sitting by the fire, weaving a new kirtle for Arturus. He was growing rapidly and would need one when winter returned. She looked as I entered and laid down the spindle whorl and went to the barrel to get me a horn of beer. She did not need to say a word. She knew that I would speak when I was ready. I had chosen a good wife.